where we left off last time. We were able to have a particular label and on a UI view which will show the current address. We have a map view and a request button for requesting pickup. So in this episode we'll be like identifying the current location and then setting up the map view to show the current user location. To get started, let's go ahead and create a new view controller which subclasses UI view controller. Let's call it as location view controller. Let's create next, create. That should be fine. After we create this particular file, let's go ahead and change the class to location view controller like this. At this point of time, let's go to the location view controller and try to set up the co-location manager. Before that, actually, let's go ahead and create some IP outlets. This. So control drag from this address, the location view controller, call it address. Control drag from the map view to here, say map view, connect. Okay, that's because we haven't imported the map kit. Import co-location as well. That should be fine. Now let's go ahead and set up the co-location manager here. Let's go to this. Var location manager, CL location manager. Then we need one address which is string. I'll explain you why we need this particular variable. Now let's go ahead and set up the, I have created a Xcode snippet for doing so, for setting up the location because I do it often. So location manager is CL location manager. Location manager dot desired accuracy is the best accuracy which we want. Location manager dot delegate equal to self. Okay, as you can see that there's a warning here because I haven't implemented that particular protocol. Let's go ahead and implement that. That should be fine. This request, if you have used co-location prior to iOS 9, you normally use either a start updating location or like start region monitoring or those kind of functions. But in iOS 9 they have introduced a new method for getting the location only once, which is called request location. So when we use request location, we'll be we'll be basically getting the current user location once, and like we will be called multiple times though for giving the best location or identifying the fix for the user location. But once we have finalized on the current user location, that location manager will automatically stop monitoring or like stop checking for the any kind of location updates. So this is the function which we'll be using in the current application. The next thing what we need to do is we need to update the location, and that I have another snippet for that. So this location manager, the delegate function will be calling our application with did update locations, passing in a array of locations. What we will be using is the first location from the locations array, and then we create a MK coordinate region with 1500 by 1500 meters around that particular location coordinate, and then we set the current region of the map view to this particular region which we have created with the animation as true. Will be okay, there's a warning. This is because I haven't implemented the geocode function, which I'll be doing next. I'll explain you what that function does. Before that, let's go ahead and create a geocoder instance of CL geocoder. One thing to note is that we can have a single geocoder instance for a particular class, but one thing to note is there can only be one request which can be done against that particular geocoder. And since we are getting this did update location multiple times, we need to actually cancel the geocode to cancel any prior geocoding which we have submitted. And so that so basically what we are trying to do is like we'll cancel any pending request and only use the latest location and then try to reverse geocode that. And once the reverse geocoding is completed, it will pass the data as well as an error object. Data is nothing but an array of CL placemark objects, and placemark object has all the address information. So what we basically do is take the first CL placemark object, convert that particular CL placemark, and has a address dictionary which has a formatted address line which converts the current lat and log into a human readable address line. That's what we'll be using in the that's what we'll be using to set up the address label which we have created here. And we'll also be storing this address. I'll be explaining why we need to use this previous address. But if you go ahead and run the application now, hopefully if things are set up properly, we should see the current user location. Oops. Okay, I think I messed up something. Let's see, address label. Okay, the reason why this is happening is because initially when I created the label, I created it as address. Looks like there are some kind of dangling connections which are present here. Okay, that's what I need to remove this. So at this point of time, let's go ahead and run this thing again. Let's see what will happen. It is still not happy for some reason. I think it's because delegate must respond to did fail with error. Okay, I forgot to implement one function. So let's go to the location view controller, Swift, then say location manager did fail with error. Just to keep it simple, let's just print out this error and run this thing. Okay, that's because geocoder. Okay, that was a stupid mistake on my side. I didn't actually initialize the geocoder object. So let's do this. Let's try it again. Okay, yep, now we can see that we have actually zoomed in on the current location. You might be wondering where I got this San Francisco map from. That's because if you don't get this, I think most probably what you'll be getting is an error, because we need, I forgot to tell you something. We need to go to this notify, go to the edit scheme, and we need to tell during the run phase saying that we need this location to be simulated. Run debug options, allow location simulation, and then give the default location as San Francisco. So that's what I have given. That's why it's currently zooming on that particular location. One thing what we need to do is basically have some kind of reference point wherein we can tell the current location is based on some particular point on this particular map. To do that, let's go ahead and actually create an let's bring in an icon. I currently use icons 8 app for most of the icons icon needs which I have. And what I'll be doing is I'll be basically like dragging this marker from on this XC assets and then create this particular 2x and 3x icon here. Now what I need to do is go to the main storyboard. On this particular view, let me go ahead and actually drag in a UI image view in the center. Let's say let's change the size to something like 45 by 45. Then let's put it in the center, align it in the center. Let's go to the align icon here, horizontal, vertical, add to constraints, and then the next one is basically we need to even provide the width and height constraint, add to constraints. Let's go ahead and update these frames, that way it's aligned properly. This will be like our reference location. Let's go ahead and give an image which in our case is location. So when we run this particular application now, we can see that the point, this particular marker wherever it's placed on the map, that's the current address which we'll be using for picking up the current user location. Let's see what will happen. Okay, so that's where the current user location is. Come on. Okay, that's where we have it here. The next thing is like we can actually pan this image, and what we the functionality which we want is wherever this location marker is, we need to find that particular address. So basically we can use something like a map view has a property called center coordinate, or let me check what the thing is. So let's go to map view. I think it's map view dot coordinate, I guess, right? I think it's something. Let's check what that would be. Map view dot center. Okay, center is basically what we'll be using for identifying the location or the where we have placed the marker. um, we can also implement another function of the map view object, which is basically I think it's map view did update locations or something like that. Let's check that. Okay, hold on, let's check map. I think which was the function? It's this actually read and did change animated. This is the function which we need actually. Let's go ahead and just copy this. Wasting time. I'll just copy this thing. You don't need this for now. So basically what will happen is we take the center coordinate of the map view. So whenever we like change or pan this particular image, or sorry, the map view, we can actually get the center coordinate of the map view. That's what is being passed in our map view region did change animated function or the method. We take the map view dot center latitude and then again pass it to the geocoder location. So what would happen is like if we implement this particular function and run this application now, we should be able to like update the address in real time whenever we pan or like move the map view. Let's see if that works. So currently it's set to Union Square. For some reason it's slow. Let's check. So when I do something like this, Chinese History Museum, looks like I'm actually not even reaching this point. Let's check if I'm reaching that or no. Maybe I'm not. Okay, looks like it's not updating. I think I might know the reason why. Maybe the map view delegate is not set as well as we need to mk location or mk map view delegate, I guess. Okay, map view delegate, we need to implement this protocol as well as set the map view dot delegate to self. If we run this application now, let's see if it works. It should ideally. Okay, we got the current initial address, the first address. For some reason it's not updating. Okay, it's slow. Now if we change the location here, and now you can see that the address is getting updated in real time. It's basically the center of the map view, and we reverse geocode that and get the current address. So let's see, let's try something like this. Pine Street, something on Pine Street, Montgomery, Surrey. This is what is given by the map kit. Don't hold me accountable for that. Okay, but you get an idea. So basically what we do is, like, whenever the map is changed, map is like basically panned, we get the center coordinate of the map, which is aligned, which is like aligned with this particular location marker, and then we reverse geocode that address and then set it up as the pickup location. So this is what this is almost what we need for the user application, apart from giving a user view, which is very simple. You just like create a UI view again, create an image view and a label for the driver's photo, driver's name, as well as the make of the car, as well as the license plate number. Also, there's one more thing in the Uber app, which is creating a custom view, which I'll be like explaining in the next post. So